Hello there, survivors. Today we're taking a look at 10 free decorative custom cosmetics that can help take your builds to the next level, ranging from decor for medieval western builds, but also a lot of landscaping options with plants, rocks and water to take your bases to the next phase. So if you're interested in building and if you're looking for the cosmetics that will allow you to unlock that next level of your potential, then this is the video for you. These are all cosmetics, meaning that you don't have to install them to a server or single player. They should show up in your cosmetic tab. As always, if you enjoy seeing these types of videos in ARK Survival Ascendant, make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate all the support. And let me know what kind of mod or cosmetic showcases you would like to see me do next. The Sculptures Catalogue, and this gives you a ton of different statues to place down. There's 3 different types, and you can actually place them on wall signs, plant pots, or deco boxes so that you can choose, you know, the speed at which they will decay if you play on a server that has decay. You can see we have one that looks like crystal, we have a golden one, and a stone one, and all of them will have the same options to change their variants. So you'll see a nice menu. You can go for chest pieces, but you can also go for Japanese themed statues instead. There's gothic ones, there is dragons, a ton of them, some also designed to go on your walls. We have Chinese statues, and we have a bunch of animals, including sharks, of course, the best. But yeah, you have a ton of different options for statues. So no matter what you're looking for, there's a high chance that you'll find something that you like. And of course, they have all the controls you should want. You can flip them around if you need to. You know, whatever you want to do with them. You can scale them up so you can show these great statues to everyone. Because who doesn't want a giant shark in their base? And it just means that you have a lot of nice options to add some cool statue decorations around your base, whether you want to go for stone, the golden one or the crystal ones. You can also paint them. I would advise painting the deco box first before you change the statues, because it's a lot easier to hit the deco box if it's not a cosmetic yet. But yeah, it's definitely a really nice mod to add decorations around your base builds. So next up is the Botanist Catalogue, and this will add a bunch of plants and trees to your game. So whether you're playing on official or on a server that doesn't have a landscaping mod, this is a great option to still be able to add plants and life to your base without having to rely on the shovel and the plant pot and hoping that you can pick up your favorite plant. There's 4 skins, as you can see, ranging from left to right. The left one is just the normal vegetation. So this is all your normal like plants. You've got a bunch of trees in here, but as you can see, there's also things for walls, ceilings, etc., flowers, everything you need to really make your base come to life and add a bunch of details to them. Then we also have the glowing versions, and this is all the more special trees so that you can have some really cool glowing trees around your base that will also work as a light source. The third one is actually falling leaves. So this is already pretty awesome, and especially since there's multiple variants, so you can go for all sorts of different vibes. You can go for glowing leaves if you want to go even more special or more magical. And then there's also flowers that you can make fall, but also more special things like snowflakes, but also fireflies, etc., which can add a really cool effect to your base, add a lot of life, details that otherwise you're not able to add. And then we also have the special Flora, which of course is some of the more special plants in the game that you might know. And you can also add that by this skin. So yeah, you have a bunch of different plants here, even more options around here, mushrooms and glowing mushrooms, you name it. So if you want to landscape your base, add a lot of life, a lot of greenery, this is the cosmetic to go to. And then we have another catalog. This one is for all of your rocks and crystals. So we have a crystal one, we have one for the rocks, and we also have an aquatic one. Again, a great way to help you detail your builds, bring more life to them. Has a ton of different versions and variants again for all sorts of crystals, including some for your walls. And again, even brightness options here, all of the skin options you'd like to see. We also have a bunch of rocks, so whether you want to have river rocks, you want to have jungle rocks, you name it, we got all of the different things. So if you're building your own base, this will be very helpful if you want to have some nice landscaping and decorations around it. And even if you're making an aquarium, you've got some aquatic ones, so you can go for all the different looking corals. You have normal corals as well. You have rocky ones. Like, there's a lot of options again. And if you like building like little landscaping scenes or aquariums, or you just need some rocks, whatever, it's a great way to bring more life to your base, especially if you combine it with some of the other catalogs. So this cosmetic is called Stories in Glass, and it adds a bunch of really nice custom stained glass skins. So you've got the Rex, you can change it as well to get a different variant. You've got quite a few, and of course you can make it a little bit more see-through if you want it to be a window. Somehow it's only this one that can be see-through, but it definitely looks very, very nice. And is a great way, of course, to add some details to your base. There's quite a few of these. So we also have this one, which has the snake. You've got the Desmodus here, a dire wolf, and then we're back to the star. We have the sun and moon ones, which, I mean, gives you the moon and the sun and some stars if you like that. We also have one for the gloon, and again, a transparent version for that as well. We got the RG, of course, iconic, so that's another option. Then we have the Aureliax, which is quite cool. We also have the harvesting dinos, if you want to give them the spotlight in your base, which is quite cool. Then we have another one for the Aureliax, but it's actually for the large walls, which gets you some really cool decor like this. And then we also have the Pterodon available. There's also one that you can fit on slope walls, so you can make a nice pattern like this, for example. You can see the glowing fire. You also have a more see-through version for this, so this definitely could work very well as a nice stained glass window in your buildings. Then we also have this skin for pillars and beams, so you can make some nice edges for your paintings if you want to maybe make some nice displays inside of your base. Definitely a nice addition. So next up is the Waterfall and Fountain Catalogue, which, well, the name pretty much tells you exactly what this is going to do. So you've got fountain skins that you can place on your water tanks, but also on decor boxes, no matter which size. And there's quite a few options here as well. So we have the default fountain, but you'll see you'll have a few variants with previews before you actually change them, which is always great. So you can quite easily tell which one you're going to get before you actually use them. You can turn off the effects, or you can enable the effect. So if you want to have flowing water, looks a lot nicer, of course. It's an actual fountain. It's also a little bit more demanding on your system. So it's nice that you get to choose what you want. Then you can also change the speed to whatever suits your personal preference, which another really great quality, that you are in control as much as possible. You can rotate, you can scale, you can flip, you know, all the good options for a skin. So that's the fountains. Definitely great ways to add some like little details and character to your base. And then we also have the waterfalls. Again, we can place them on all of these deco boxes. But probably the best way to actually demonstrate these is, of course, to make sure that they're actually connected to something, so that you can actually see the waterfall going down somewhere. And of course, these as well have a bunch of different variants that you can pick and choose from, so that you can find the right fit for whatever project you're going to be working on. I like this one with the curve a lot. And again, you've got the effect, so you can enable effects if you want, you know, the more dramatic waterfalls or not. You can again control the speeds so that you can make them fit whatever project that you're working on, which is a great thing. And then of course all the other basic skin options, which makes it a really nice and versatile mod for some landscaping, as well as adding some lovely fountain decorations around your base. Then there's wild water, which is great if you want to make some custom pools, ponds, lakes, whatever, because, well, you can turn foundations into water, as you can see. You can also add water on top of it. This is so that you can still walk through them, of course, which can be quite useful. It also works on ceilings, so if you want to make like the illusion that there's still something below it, you could skin this in something else. And of course this one can also have a layer on top of it should you want to. Unfortunately, they don't really work on many other pieces, so you are kind of limited to the floors, but still great if you want to create some nice pools, lakes, or even some fountains, because you can also turn a deco box into a little fountain like this. There's a few options here for like the colors that you could do. You have some options for the type that you want to go for. You can change the rate that it flows at, and you can pick whether you want the little nozzle, so the water tank, I suppose, with the tiny one, if you want that visible or not. But most importantly, I think the ceilings and the foundations, turning those into water, can be quite useful for decorating around your base. Then we've got Cozy Flora Floral Decor, and, well, the name suggests this already. This adds some flowers to use around your base. So, for example, the basic one adds a bunch of different flowers with different colors ready to use. Same one for these. So if you want to create some nice gardens, bring in some greenery to your bases, and you're limited to cosmetics, this one offers some easy to use versions. Besides that basic one, we also have this one for the large deco box, which turns them into a nice well filled with flowers. Also a few color versions available for this one. And then finally, you also have some vines. Probably you want to hang those down from things, but you can see you've got a few options for these as well. So if you want to have some vines hanging down from your buildings, this could be a really good option. And next up is the Luminous Catalogue for all sorts of lights and lamps, which is great. You can apply this to just a deco box, you can apply it to the tech light, or you can apply it to the steampunk light from the Bob Tall Tales DLC. And this basically improves lighting for in your base. This might not be the easiest place to showcase this, but most importantly, you'll have a bunch of variants. So whether you want to go for some cool lights for on your ceiling, you need some cool lights for on top of your walls, or you just want the normal tech light, but then give more light, give better light, then this is the way to go. And of course, you can also just apply this to a box, so it's a lot cheaper than an actual tech light itself. And you'll see that there's, well, it's hard to see now, but there's quite a lot of light coming from these. And the same, of course, goes for this one. It's all the same options that you'll have. You'll have options for the light intensity, so you can go for very low until very high, so you can kind of determine yourself which one you need and which ones you want. And you can see tons of cool options here to decorate your base with. So now if we quickly close ourselves into an enclosed space, we can kind of see how much light they give off. Let's make sure that we turn off all of these lights for now. So this is how dark it would be without any light. And now it's nighttime. You can see it is very, very dark. We can barely see anything. And then if I skin this light, and I think in this case I'll need to turn it on, you can see how much light this one source will give us. And of course, we can change the intensity. So this is low. This is the low intensity, which is already giving us plenty of light. But if we go all the way up to the high intensity, you can see this will light up very big spaces quite well, and there's no like weird bloom or weird effects, which is of course a great addition. And then of course we can change this to whatever we want, and you can see this will really help you light up those bases. If you're working on some medieval or gothic-y builds and you need some interior or exterior or just any decorations, then the Castlecraft Decor skins can definitely help you out. So this is a free custom cosmetic, which of course works very well with the Castlecraft build skins, but this is totally free to use. And if you're an official, this is a great way to be able to add a bunch of different decor options to your base. There's a ton of them, like these dungeon things. You've got interior decorations, you've got exterior dice decorations. Like there's a ton of options here. You can see the skins on my hotbar. There's interior, there's exterior skins, there's flags and shields, wall signs, dungeon skins, tableware, and clutter. So all sorts of medieval things to bring more life to your base. And especially if you're working on some cool medieval projects, this is of course a very nice way to take them to the next level. I will say that if you're on a single player or a server where you can add mods, there's also a mod version of this which you install to your single player or to your server, where it will give you a crafting station where you can craft all the decorations, which in my opinion is a little bit easier to use of course. But if you're unofficial, this might be the only way that you can use some of these awesome decorations to take your builds to the next level. And then we have the Western Deco skins, which again, of course, is a great skin if you're working on some Western builds, but I think these can also be applied to many different projects because some of the items are quite versatile. For example, the curtains or the shutters, of course. The signs are pretty nice for different things. Of course, there are some ones that are definitely more Western themed, but there's a ton of really cool like little decoration options here that you can use for all sorts of different build projects. And yeah, they will definitely help add a lot of character and life to your base with tons of options, as you can see. So if you're looking to decorate your base and take it to the next level, definitely want to consider this. Of course is a cosmetic, meaning that you can use it pretty much everywhere, even on official. There's also a mod version of this, so this one you would install server side or on your single player, which I would recommend if you have that opportunity, because it makes it a lot easier if you can craft these things and place them down. I think that's a little bit quicker to build with, but for official players, the skin version, the cosmetic version, is the best you'll get, and it will add a ton of new decorative options to your base builds, which is perfect for if you're playing with some Western builds. And there we go. Those are 10 cosmetics which I think can help you take your bases to the next level by allowing you to add a ton of cool decorative details to them. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate all the support. And let me know down in the comments below which kind of mod or cosmetic videos you would like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video or the next stream.